All right, so for your test corrections, we're going to go over a few problems dealing with completing the square, quadratic functions, and also identifying A, B, and C. So when it comes to these, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to do is standard form. So when we're talking about that standard form of a quadratic equation, we're basically looking at this format of ax squared plus bx plus c. So the idea is how to identify these three terms. Okay, so depending on what your equation is, you're basically going to have to make sure is it in this form where everything is basically on the same side um, of the equal sign. So then that way you're able to identify it. And also just making sure that a is associated with the x squared, that b is associated with the x, and c is that constant number. So let's go ahead and go over some examples. So say for instance I had one that was just straightforward of 2x squared minus 4x plus 10. Okay, so you guys as a student have to look at and see basically is it in standard form, are they basically aligned with this format here, and then just identify your variable or your coefficients. So a, we're going to call it a is in the same location as x squared, so 2 and a, so a is equal to 2. B is equal to negative 4. C is equal to 10. So, and that's basically the gist of it, of just identifying those key parts. Now, say for instance, you have, let me just do it this way. Um, One where it's not as easily like set up like this one, where you might have it as 2x squared plus 3x equals 7. So you got to ask yourself the question of, is everything on the same side of this equal sign, like this example here? Um, so if I see I have my x squared, I have my x, I have technically my a and b on the same side, but my c is not. So remember, we've been going over this in Algebra 2 of basically just moving terms over. So I look at my sign, I notice it's positive, so now I'm going to subtract it over. Now, I cannot combine anything with this negative 7 because this has an x squared, this has an x, and this is a constant. So I'm just going to have to write it out as 2x squared plus 3x minus 7. And of course, these two are going to cancel out and give us that 0 like what we had before. And now I can go ahead and label again. So here's my A, my B, my C. So therefore, my A number is 2, my B number is a positive 3, and my C number is a negative 7. So that's all we're asking for when it comes to labeling or identifying A, B, and C. So I'm going to use this as a little check to make sure you guys have seen the video. So I'm going to put up a question of negative 2x squared minus 4x plus 7. Ooh, let me change that part. I want to make sure we do this part. Let's do equals to negative 10. Okay, so practice on this, take a little bit of notes, and see if you guys can identify A, B, and C by pausing the video and then replaying this. So pause the video. So now we're going to do our moving. I'm going to do the opposite sign. Put it over here. None of these are like terms. This is going to cancel. So therefore, I'm just going to set up as negative 2x squared. That's my first term with the x squared. My minus 4x. And then my plus 10 on the end. These two canceled out. So now I have 0 terms remaining here. So therefore, A, B, and C. So I want you guys to put out the answer. So A was going to be which one? X squared, so negative 2. B is going to be with my x, negative 4. And C is going to be with my positive 10. And there you go. And that's basically how you do your A equals, or identify A, B, and C.